Have you ever wondered what it would be like if time travel was real today? Imagine stepping into the past or future and experiencing it firsthand. Time travel isn't just a sci-fi fantasy. In fact, scientists have already discovered some mind-blowing ways that time travel might be possible with our current understanding of physics. And it's not just about going back to witness historical events or visit the future. It's about how time itself works and what that means for our reality. So let's dive into the fascinating world of time travel and explore what it could really mean for us today. Time is one of the most fundamental aspects of our universe, yet it's also one of the least understood. We experience it as a continuous flow, moving forward from the past to the present and into the future. But what if that's not the whole story? What if time isn't just a straight line, but something more complex, even something that could be manipulated? The idea of time travel has captivated human imagination for centuries, but now, thanks to modern physics, we're beginning to understand that time might be more flexible than we ever imagined. One of the most famous theories that could make time travel possible is Einstein's theory of relativity. According to this theory, time is not absolute, it's relative. That means the way we experience time can change depending on our speed and the strength of the gravitational field we're in. For example, if they were to travel at a significant fraction of the speed of light, time would pass more slowly for you compared to someone who stays on Earth. This effect is known as time dilation. Astronauts on the International Space Station experience time slightly slower than people on Earth, even though the difference is minuscule. But what if we could push this idea further? What if we could travel not just through space, but through time as well? Now, let's take this concept even further. If we could move at speeds close to the speed of light, we could experience time in a completely different way. For instance, if you travelled at 99% the speed of light for a year, to find that over 7 years had passed. This is because time slows down as you move faster, but this is still a form of time travel in one direction, into the future. However, what about travelling back in time? That's where things get even more complex. Physicist Kurt Gödel proposed a solution to Einstein's equations that suggested the possibility of closed time-like curves, paths through space-time that loop back on themselves. In other words, if you'd such a path, you could return to a point in time that you've already left. But this idea is purely theoretical and has never been proven. Still, it opens up the question, could time travel to the past be possible? And if so, what would that mean for our understanding of cause and effect? One of the biggest challenges with time travel to the past is the paradox problem. The most famous example is the grandfather paradox. If you travelled back in time and killed your grandfather before he had children, you would never have been born. But if you were never born, how could you have travelled back in time to kill your grandfather in the first place? This paradox has led scientists to propose various solutions, such as the many worlds interpretation, which suggests that every decision creates a new branch of reality. In this view, if you go back in time and kill your grandfather, you're not changing your original timeline. You're creating a new one where you never existed. But even if we could solve the paradox problem, there are still many unanswered questions. For example, what happens to the laws of physics when you travel through time? Would the universe allow for such changes, or would it prevent them through some form of cosmic censorship? Some physicists believe that the universe might have built in safeguards to prevent time travel from causing paradoxes. Others argue that time travel is not just possible, but inevitable, as our universe is governed by physical laws that allow for such possibilities. Another fascinating theory that could make travel possible is wormholes. Wormholes are hypothetical tunnels that connect two distant points in space-time. If you could travel through a wormhole, you could effectively move from one point in space to another, or even from one point in time to another. Ours are incredibly unstable and would collapse almost immediately unless they are held open by exotic matter with negative energy density, while this is still purely theoretical. Some scientists believe that if we could find or create such a wormhole, it could be a way to travel through time. But what if time travel isn't about moving through space or time, but rather about manipulating the flow of time itself? Some physicists have explored the idea that time could be a dimension like space, and if we could move through that dimension, we could experience time in a different way. This idea is similar to how we can move freely in 3 spatial dimensions, but we're stuck in one direction through time. If we could move freely through time, we could potentially travel back and forth as easily as we move left or right. However, even if we could move through time, there are still many unanswered questions. For example, could we control when and where we travel? Would we be able to interact with the past or future without causing unintended consequences? And what would happen if we tried to change something in the past? Would it create a new timeline, or would it alter the present in a way we can't predict? These are all questions that scientists are still trying to answer. One of the most intriguing ideas is that time travel might not require any sort of machine or device. Some physicists believe that time travel could be a natural consequence of the way the universe is structured. If the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate, it could eventually reach a point where time itself stops or reverses. While this is a highly speculative idea, it highlights how our understanding of time is still evolving. In addition to theoretical physics, there are also practical considerations. Even if time travel were possible, it would require an enormous amount of energy. For example, traveling at near light speeds would require an amount of energy that is currently beyond our technological capabilities. Creating and stabilizing a wormhole would require exotic matter with negative energy density, which we have yet to discover or create. These challenges mean that while time travel is an exciting concept, it may be far from reality for the foreseeable future. But that doesn't mean we should stop exploring the possibilities. The study of time travel has led to many breakthroughs in physics and technology. For example, the development of GPS relies on our understanding of time dilation, as satellites experience time slightly differently than people on Earth. Similarly, the study of black holes and their effects on time has helped us better understand the nature of space-time. These discoveries show that even if we can't travel through time today, the pursuit of understanding time itself is already changing the way we see the universe. And what if time travel wasn't just about moving through time, but about changing our perception of it? Some scientists believe that our brains are wired to experience time in a linear way, but what if we could train ourselves to perceive time differently? Meditation and mindfulness practices have been shown to help people feel more present and aware of the moment. While this is not time travel in the traditional sense, it does suggest that our understanding of time is not fixed. It's something we can influence and shape. Another fascinating idea is that time travel might not be about moving through time, but about experiencing it in a different way. For example, if you could live in a state of timelessness, you could experience moments in a way that feels eternal. This concept has been explored in various philosophical and spiritual traditions, where the idea of living in the present moment is seen as a way to transcend time altogether. While this is more of a metaphysical concept, it highlights how time is not just a physical phenomenon, it's also a psychological and philosophical one. In conclusion, the idea of time travel is more than just a sci-fi fantasy. It's a fascinating area of study that has the potential to change how we understand the universe and our place within it. Whether we're talking about travelling to the future, the past, or even existing in a state of timelessness, the possibilities are endless. And while we may not be able to travel through time today, the pursuit of understanding it is already reshaping our view of reality. So the next time you find yourself wondering about time, remember that it's not just a line we're moving through, it's a mystery waiting to be uncovered. So if you enjoyed this journey through the possibilities of time travel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There's so much more to explore in the world of science, and I can't wait to share more with you.